What's up, my people? My name is Ebuka, and you're watching The Cover on Accelerate TV. It was never really a part of the plan, to be honest. I was one of those kids who went into university not really knowing what they wanted to do. The only thing I knew for sure was that I wanted a degree that didn't have any mathematics in it, because I was terrible at math in secondary school. And law seemed like a professional course, so I would have a title, barrister. And I seemed like I knew what I was doing. So I went to study law. After I graduated from law school, I started working. I worked very shortly for about 2-3 months and realized this pay is not very, it's not very sweet. And then this random show called Big Brother came on in 2006, which is what, 12, 13 years ago. Shows my age now, doesn't it? And I decided to audition. It was actually a dare from my sister that made me go audition, and I went on the show. I didn't win. And I always say one of the worst things you can be is famous and broke. So I left the show not winning, not having any money, but everybody knew me, so it was a burden. But everybody said, oh, you seem to have a nice voice. You also look good for TV. Why don't you try television? Seemed ridiculous because I was painfully shy, but I needed money. So I started going for auditions and got my first TV show in August of 2006. Big Brother in 2006 is definitely different from Big Brother today. TV was much tamer and saner back then, but it still was a crazy experience being locked up with strangers for 3 months, but I was on the show for 2 months. I got evicted after 2 months. Two big things I would always say that came out of that for me, first of all, was human interaction, because you're forced to interact with people you have no, sometimes, connections with. And it helped my human interaction generally. So I was able to open up more and know people. And since then, I think I've worked on that, where if I meet someone for the first time, I'm able to have a conversation. And then secondly, of course, my career, because the first thing I ever hosted in my life was on the show. We had a task in the house where we were supposed to present a play, and I was the MC. So that was the first ever time I hosted anything, and so it birthed my career for me as well. It's very disheartening, to be honest, and a lot of us, I don't think you even need to be Nigerian or an adult to know that we are not in the best place as a country today. It's sadly taking so many years of mismanagement, bad governance, and we thought democracy was going to be the answer. This is pretty much we're going on our 20th year of democracy. I don't know that you can get more adults than that. And I don't know that if at that stage you haven't learned a few lessons. A country isn't doing well when every time you have a new president, people wish for the last one that was voted out. It tends to happen a lot in this country where, oh, we missed that guy. But when that guy was in office, you called him terrible. So doesn't mean we're getting worse every time or voting the wrong people in. It's scary. Back in the day, we had all these promises and we would compare ourselves. Look at America, look at London, look at, we had all these countries that we thought were doing amazing things, and they seemed so far away because they had worked on their countries for decades and centuries. These days, we're looking at even countries around us now. Now we're talking about Rwanda, we're talking about Kenya, we're talking about Ghana, we're talking about Cote d'Ivoire. And these are people who were around us we used to look up to us. Yes, we laughed at them. Ghana must go was a thing because we told them to leave our country because they were taking up space. And now you're going to all of these places that we thought were laughing stock. And they're doing things, and we still seem to be either in the place we were, even getting worse. It's very sad, and I know the scary part is that the leaders know, which is why they make these promises every time they want to get voted in. So they know their issues, they know what the solutions are most of the time. But it's weird what happens when they get in there and regress instead of even act on anything. The elections are coming again. the promises are going to roll in again. A lot of people are very worried that, okay, the two major candidates are from the same old stock, and the sort of quote-unquote newer guys may not stand a chance. So it's even scarier that what's going to happen in the next 4 years. Are we going to be stuck with the same cycle, you know? Honestly, it's very scary. And I know that we have a few young people who are trying to get into the space now and, you know, get involved. But it's going to take a while, even if we're going to start fixing it. And I think a lot of us need to get more involved. We've been able to stand, especially the middle class, a lot of us who feel like we're comfortable. We can buy a generator, you know, we can buy diesel whenever we want. If the sun is too hot, we can just on our AC. You know, we feel like we're sort of immune to the problems. But the poverty cases are rising. People are getting out of jobs more. What does that mean? There's a lot more people out of work. There's a lot more crime, whether you like it or not. And who are they going to steal from? Those guys, you and I, who seem to feel like we're immune to the system. It's going to implode one day, whether we like it or not. And if we don't start fixing it now, it's going to happen sooner rather than later. I don't hate Christmas, but I think it's just, I don't want to use the word over commercialized because we live in a commercialized world now anyway, whether it's a holiday or not. But I just feel like it's too much. It's a 1 day, okay, let's call it a 2 day holiday, Christmas and Boxing Day, right, 25th, 26th. But it goes on for about a month and a half where there's just so much happening, you know. People are traveling. And I think I'm an Igbo man, so sometimes I feel like I spend too much in December and I don't make enough. So I think that also plays in my head. It's just so much, like the debit alerts are like, do I have a favorite holiday? I don't know that I have a favorite holiday. I just like a holiday where I'm not working. I just like one time when I'm not working and there's a lot to eat and I don't feel guilty eating. So anytime that is free time, I'm fine. I mean, Christmas, Easter, Salah, as long as there's no work and there's food to eat and there's family, I'm fine, you know. Christmas is not bad, Christmas is just too long. So Christmas is also not the worst, it just isn't. It just needs to be shorter. I mean, a week is fine. Sharp, let's go back to what we're doing. Think less of today. There's a lot of that happening, and I'm talking with regards to how you look at politics, how you look at governance, how you look at your career, how you look at life personally, how you look at relationships, whether it's your wife, your girlfriend, just everything about you. Nigerians tend to be very now about everything. So this girl is hot now. Oh, how much are they paying me now? How much am I making now? Or this government now is not. We need to look more about that long-term or at least medium-term goals. Okay, so I want to vote in a guy who may not necessarily deliver today with all these fancy promises, but will give me what I want in 4 years, or in 5 years, or in 2 terms of 8 years, you know. So we look more at the future. So we don't want to fix a pothole that would get ruined in 2 weeks just because it's going to look fancy now. Let's build roads that will last for years. So I want to date this girl, but he doesn't have money now, so we're not going to. I want to date this guy, he doesn't have money now, so it's not going to work. Do you think it's going to work if you guys work at it for a period of time? You know, stuff like that. We don't tend to think long term enough, I feel, and I think it's one of the reasons we're where we are. You know, we just that's the way we like to do it. So I think we just be a little more long term and plan, you know, for the future. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for watching. My name is Ebuka once again, and this is my cover.